North Korea's military equipment looks as if it could belong to a 1970s Soviet army. On paper, the Stalinist State Air Force possesses 563 combat-capable aircraft. In reality, every one of these planes was grounded for a short period in 2014, thanks to problems with maintenance and serviceability. The Air Force has some semi-modern fighter jets, like the MiG-29, which was built in the later years of the Soviet Union. But most of its Air Force is made up of less capable jets and even biplanes. The last time the Air Force received any new fighter planes was 15 years ago, when it purchased decades-old, used MiG-21s from Kazakhstan. We would easily outmatch North Korea's elderly Air Force. North Korea's ground forces are numerous, but equipped mostly with out-of-date Soviet-era small arms, or copies produced by North Korea or China. Despite being developed more than 20 years ago, Hak-Pung-ho battle tanks are some of the most advanced equipment operated by the ground forces. The Navy is in even worse shape than its other military branches. Their submarine force, too, is unsophisticated and aging quickly. It would be no match to anything we have in or on the water. North Korea's Navy is the smallest of its military branches, and the non-submarine part is made up mostly of aging though numerous small patrol craft. According to the Pentagon, it sounds like if we wait long enough, these boats will just rust away. Despite North Korea's military-first economic strategy, there's no money for upgrades. North Korea remains reliant on a predominantly obsolescent equipment inventory across all three services, is the verdict of International Institute for Strategic Studies. We would crush North Korea because their weapon arsenal is vastly outdated, which should come as no surprise, given the country is struggling to keep even the lights on. Of course, they have a lot of soldiers, but by no means does that translate into military dominance. There are 28,500 American troops permanently based in the South. Of course, the North Koreans do have us heavily outnumbered, but the North Korean advantage in numbers would be quickly overwhelmed by U.S. reinforcements and airstrikes from as far away as Guam or as close in as submarines off the coast. North Korea is expected to be able to put up a fight for no longer than 3 months. They don't have any real allies that would be willing and able to help them restock any weapons or ammo. They're cut off from the outside world. And despite a military-first policy, they've been unable to build up a relevant stock of weapon supplies. And, of course, our supply is pretty much endless. America would have a bazillion allies. North Korea would have none. Everybody knows how evil the North Korean leadership is. They're bad to the bone and nobody wants anything to do with them. Not even Putin is all that interested in doing business with them. If, and that's a big if, because we wouldn't need anybody's help. But if it came to it, then it wouldn't be the U.S. versus North Korea, it would be the world versus North Korea. And the first ally to jump on board would be South Korea, a 500,000 troop-strong, technologically advanced military that could crush North Korea in a heartbeat, even without our help. North Korea's main objective in a war, realistically, would be to make the war so painful for the U.S. that we will not be able to pursue it till the end. But by now we've learned our lesson. Over and over, once bullets hit the fan, we will not retreat before we have wiped out the current leadership, off the face of the earth. And South Korea would help us rebuild and control what would be left of the country. Let's pray it won't come to this. But when push comes to shove, we could always use a nuclear bomb as a last resort. Again, the leadership will be long gone before this option would ever have to be considered. But if something unexpectedly happened, then we could always drop the bomb and win the war that way.